What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode, Sammy and Marissa's Husbands. Go over the agenda a little bit for you guys. We'll talk lives of recent athlete segment by Tyler. The new segment, which we're going to call, I think, Name That. And then some boxing, UFC, football, basketball, Pat's peeves, random questions, and closing comments. To start it off, what's been up?
Same old shit. Got some we had a pretty decent work week, nothing too crazy. Wasn't too busy. We got a lot of we got a lot of fish accomplished. We accomplished fish.
Just accomplishing fishmonging. Is that what we
Fish.
call it?
Yeah, fish monging.
Monging, fish monging. What exactly is fish monging?
Well, at the risk of sounding like an idiot, basically you're a fishmonger if you sell fish. Like if you process the fish, like I wouldn't call the seafood department at a grocery store, I wouldn't call them fishmongers, even though I know that they do cut some fish. But we get the fish. We have our own fishermen. We buy fish from fishermen. We process the fish. We have our own crabbers. We process the crabs. And I think it's like the whole spectrum of everything to do with fish from the water to getting it to a restaurant's kitchen.
Okay, that's fair. What's your role in the monging process? Because I know you're not out there fishing.
No, so the guys who fish are basically the owners, like that have like our fish, and then we buy from a lot of fishermen.
Yeah.
What I do is I'm essentially Wes's assistant, like his like right hand man type thing. A lot of what I do is jerking him traded a jerking off motion for the listeners. Um, so I will get together orders that consist of stuff that isn't cut fish, like scallops, oysters, crab meat, frozen items. I'll bill stuff out. When Wes isn't doing it, I'll do the invoices. And Wes has put me in charge of doing a lot of the AR stuff. So when businesses pay, I'll contact businesses if they're not paying, that sort of thing. And I also will dress and scale smaller fish like spots, croakers, sea mullet, stuff of that nature. The less complicated fish, basically.
All right, that makes sense. Makes sense. All right, so what else? What else been up?
Just bought some life insurance. Um,
You planning on dying here recently?
doesn't cover suicide, so I can't just kill myself, which is kind of annoying. But
Oh, that's funny. Mine does.
my other policy does. So whatever. Um, we watched, I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but Friday night we went to the dive. Marissa and I met her dad and his friend and wife out there to watch the Jake Paul Tyson card. Yesterday I worked and went to Drew's house to watch the John Jones Stipe Miocic card. I also went to see my mom's new place. I helped her move in, but I haven't been there since she like hung up a bunch of pictures and shit. So Marissa made a casserole. We ate dinner. My Aunt Sandy came over because they're neighbors now. And then, we just hung out for a little bit. It was nice.
That's nice. It's nice that your Aunt Sandy lives so close.
Yeah, it's really cool. So like you can literally just see it like
Yeah.
right across the little grass.
No, I think that's important when you get a little older, to just have that like support system because like my granddad, for instance, I know he's a lot older, um, but he was so far away from everybody. And like, I don't know, when you're that old, you don't really have people to, I think, social activity is so important as you get older to kind of like keep you in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you can get depressed, like not, I mean, not necessarily like having someone around every day, but just like not knowing that you don't have people around, I think can be depressing. So I feel like
Yeah.
just having that theoretical safety net there is nice for her.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, that's what's up. Sounds like a good little week. Mine is pretty typical as well. Typical work week. Except Sam is out of town, so I'm a bachelor for the week and weekend.
Do you have
Um,
any you have any you have any you get
no,
any
I thought about asking Mike over, and we were gonna get the, you know, but didn't happen. But we were it was, she was out of town, so it was bring your dog to work week, which was kind of cool because I just feel bad when I leave the house at 5:30 and then I'm not home until even like, 3, because I am getting home early. Like, I feel bad feeding her breakfast at 5:30 in the morning, letting her take a piss and then not being able to let her out until I get home from work. I feel like it's a little cruel. So I just been bringing her to work with me. And she's chill. She just lays on her little bed in my office while I do what I got to do. And then I can take her out a little bit more. But that was cool. I was supposed to run a 7 mile on Saturday, but I decided to go play pickup instead, which isn't really correlating with my whole marathon train up. But it is what it is. Still got some miles in probably, but it's not the same as running 7 straight on a long run. So I'll have to make up for that this week at some point. Again, wife being out of town means a lot of watching basketball, football. So Friday night, I pretty much watched college basketball all night. Saturday, I watched college football all day, and then today I'm just watching some NFL, and I have to go get her from the Atlanta airport a little later, which actually kind of sucks, but it's one of those things.
one of those things, bro?
It's one of those things. The driving, because it's about an hour 45, 2 hours, depending on how traffic is, but um, that's basically a 4-hour drive because you're
Yeah.
there, sit there for a second, and then turn around and drive right back. So that's never fun, but that's kind of my life of recent.
Is that a nice airport? I've never been to that airport before.
It's a big airport. I think at one point it was one of the biggest ones in the United States. Um, but our fact checker will probably tell me I'm crazy wrong about that. But I swear at one point it was the biggest airport in the United States.
I
Um,
I know that you know what, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. We don't need to talk about the size of airports too much. That's pretty boring.
I mean, go for it.
I think O'Hare in Chicago is the biggest one in the country.
I think that is definitely up there, but I swear Atlanta was like one of the biggest ones at one point.
Trey is currently taking pizza out of the oven or putting pizza in the
I'm
oven.
taking pizza out of the oven. I'm making a frozen pizza because again, the wife is out of town and I can do what the fuck I want to. So
So when the wife is out of town, the boys go crazy and make some frozen pizza.
goddamn right.
Is it pepperoni pizza?
It's just like a fucking Red Baron pepperoni pizza, yeah.
Oh, a la carte.
A la carte, yeah. I'm gonna try not to drop this on the floor. Let's go. We're in fucking business, boys. In business. All right. Mission accomplished. Pizza's out of the oven. I'll let her cool down and then I'm gonna munch on her. So you'll probably hear me chewing on this episode, kind of like Tyler that sounds every episode.
Uh, rude, rude. Oh, rude,
Rude, yes. Untrue.
rude. No, I didn't say it wasn't true. I just said it was rude.
Oh man. But I also potentially may have fixed my outdoor fridge. Basically, I'm an electrician.
I didn't know there was an issue with it.
So I had it, everything was good. I was keeping like I was buying a little excess meat and stuff and keeping it in the fridge and my beers out there and stuff. And then one day I come outside one morning to try and open the garage, go to work, and like the garage wasn't working. And like the little lights for the sensors weren't working, and none of the lights in the garage was working at all. So like I was like, okay, that's weird. Maybe a breaker tripped. Well, I hit the breaker, reset everything, and then it tripped right again. Okay, weird. Hit it again, trips again. So then I start like kind of playing games and unplug the fridge, hit the breaker, everything's fine. So obviously the fridge was causing some sort of issue. But then I had realized that all of my shit that was in the freezer is now thawed out,
Right.
which really sucked because I didn't know how long it had been thawed out for. And like, sure, it felt cool to the touch still, but like, so I basically had to throw away a bunch of stuff. And then I kind of messed with some stuff today or yesterday actually. And then I don't really even know what I did, but I messed with it and then I plugged it back in today. I like cleaned it up and then I plugged it back in. It seems to be working. So we'll fucking see.
That's all the electricians do anyway.
Yeah, I know.
They just go, oh, we'll see if this works.
And just like unscrew this, screw it back in, hit this with the little wipe down, maybe knock it a couple times with a screwdriver. Yep, looks good to me.
All right, that's $600.
Yeah, right. Um, but yeah. So from my understanding, it is your athlete segment this week.
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you giving me hints or am I just guessing?
Go ahead and guess, and then we'll see if I have to chug a beer or not.
That's cheating, but it's okay.
Wait, what do you mean?
We changed the athlete segment. You're supposed to give me 3 hints.
Oh, fuck. Um,
You're a host on this podcast.
it's a surprise every week, buddy.
All right, it's okay. I'll just guess.
No, I'll tell you. I'll give you 3.
Okay.
I remember because everybody flamed me for my Odell Beckham performance.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, white.
White
Bouncing.
White bouncing.
Depression.
White bouncing depression. So some white athlete that probably some white basketball athlete that's an advocate for depression, Kevin Love. Get that beer, bitch.
I just handed that to you. That was
Yeah,
so
you did.
stupid.
You did. Let's go. It's drinking time, my friend.
Ah, that's so stupid. Talk to the people about something while I go get that.
Okay.
I'm like literally having a caramel frap and I have to chug a beer.
That's the most Tyler thing I've ever heard in my life. He's having a caramel frap. He's supposed to be getting in shape for a marathon coming up or a half marathon. And we're on a health kick. He hasn't ran in 8 months. He's drinking a caramel frap and now he's about to shotgun a beer. But my friends, that is how it's done. Last week I handed Tyler Odell Beckham Jr. with Tiger, dancing, and something else. I can't remember the other hint. And for some reason he didn't get it. Oh, it was catch because Odell has the catch, you know. But you know, we can't all be like me. It's hard. It's hard out here. It really is. You know, I didn't choose this life. This life chose me, and the man himself is back. What are we drinking?
I'll let you narrate it for the
Ooh, a little champagne of beers. I like it.
kids out there.
I
For
like
Miller
it.
High Life. And it is so fucking cold. This is going to suck.
This actually makes me so happy.
This is gayer than having sex with a man.
Not
That's
gayer than
about
that caramel frap that you're drinking.
All right. Now, if the audience hasn't all committed group suicide from listening to you talk by themselves, I'm going to take my headphones out again, and then I'm going to chug this beer.
All right. So we'll be gone for about probably 25 minutes while Tyler chugs this beer. So you'll have to listen to me talk to myself. It can't be worse than Tyler's solo episode. I don't know if he can actually hear me or not. Oh, he can. Look at the eyes. I get the eyes. Well, um, I hope everybody's having a nice drive to work. It's about 2:30 on Sunday. I'm watching the Steelers Ravens game, and the Ravens just fumbled again, I think, against the Steelers. Um, and he's chugging, sipping.
So cold.
It's the price you got to pay, my man. The price you got to pay. Well, that was a successful athlete segment, I would say. Only our second correct guess resulting in people having to chug a beer. I mean, I know it's not the same as when Mike guessed it. Mike guessed it with no hints, which is impressive. We did tailor the pick to him a little bit. But I think the hints are good. It's going to result in a little bit more chugs. Tyler is finished, so he's putting his headphones back in. We're back in business.
At least it tasted good.
That is good. Could be worse beers to have to chug.
Yeah. High Life's a good chugging beer.
Yeah, no doubt. Could have been like a one of Wes's little hazy little things.
As I don't hate them as far as
Right, drinking, but
drinking,
yeah.
but like chugging one of those like 6-7% beers is just not.
It's heavy
Yeah.
on the tummy.
Excuse me. All right. Well, that fucking blew.
All right, so
I
next
shouldn't.
segment.
No,
Go
hold on.
ahead.
Let me just interrupt you just for a
Okay.
little logistical things. Obviously, I have this giant spreadsheet. Should I make a note of something if I had to, if I like had to chug it?
Yeah, definitely put like an asterisk by it or something like that if it was a first time guess. Which
Okay.
I think if we start doing the 3 hints, we're gonna have a few more first time guesses.
I think so. I think so. I agree with that.
But I think that kind of brings a little fun to it. And then it
Yeah.
brings, the people listening on their drive to work that were screaming at the radio because you couldn't guess Odell Beckham. I think, and I like the listener involvement. I like seeing the Snapchats of people just absolutely belittling you. I'm sure it will be me at some point because it is different when you're on the spot.
I would have. I had forgotten about that. Truthfully, about the 3 hints thing. I would have
Yeah.
prepared better. I had Kevin Love planned out, but I honestly wouldn't. If I didn't say white, I feel
If you didn't
like
say white, I probably wouldn't have got it.
okay. Well, terrific. That's good content for the people, man. Um, I do want to say Corey, while we were talking about listener involvement, Corey did mention that they were squirts at his house, which we thought like
Huh.
instead of frescoes. And he does remember East Carteret painting their field, and he said it was very strange.
Yeah, very weird. It was like crunching every time you take a step.
I wasn't even thinking about the texture under your feet. That is
Yeah, it
weird.
was very weird. Very like not like it didn't feel like grass at all. I don't know. It felt like I was wearing tennis shoes. Um, felt like wearing tennis shoes, not even like the spikes, because of just the way that it felt under your feet. Um, but yeah. So athlete segment success. Transitioning to name that segment, which
Okay.
it's my turn to choose the category.
Yes.
And the category is NHL teams.
Okay.
All right. I can name 2 NHL teams.
I can name 5.
5. I can name 6.
I can name 7.
Cap.
Okay, so am I
Name 7.
gonna go until I can't?
You're gonna go until 45 seconds expires.
Okay.
All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Starts.
Rangers, Islanders, Devils, Hurricanes, Stars, Jets, Lightning, Kings, Oilers, Coyotes, Kraken,
10 seconds.
the
3,
Ducks.
2, 1. The Ducks is crazy.
Didn't there used to be an Anaheim Ducks team?
I think so, but I don't think they're still a team anymore. Also, Cougars.
No, I said Coyotes, Arizona
No,
Coyotes. That used to be
Coyotes.
a team for sure. I don't know if they still are.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm shocked you knew that many NHL teams. I
I'm
probably wouldn't have got 5.
I could have gotten way more than that.
Well, it's 45 seconds.
If I I could probably name all of them if I had unlimited time to like really just sit down and think about it.
Well, yeah, anything.
I
I
think I had 12, but I'm gonna just do a quick check on the Ducks and Coyotes.
don't think the Ducks are one anymore. Yeah, I picked NHL teams because it seems like one of those categories where it's like, yeah, I know NHL teams, but then you start to think about it and you're like, wait, what's the NHL? I probably would have known the Hurricanes, the Panthers, the Rangers, the Devils. I probably would have known like 5, and then I would have been sitting here for 35 seconds in silence because I couldn't think of another one. And that is great content.
I'm counting the Coyotes because 2024 was their last season.
No, not a team anymore.
It's 2024, bitch.
Yeah, but last season, not this season. Are they a team this season?
Yeah.
They're a team this season currently playing right now.
No, they're the Utah Hockey Club right now.
Yeah, so basically, you're a liar. It's okay because you got 7. You won.
I got 11 because the Ducks are a fucking team.
Well, it doesn't matter. You got 7.
Oh,
So
I know. I'm just saying, like,
yeah. The goal is to just get the number that you said you could get.
heard.
All right, so moving on from that, a little bit different this weekend in terms of sports that doesn't happen every weekend. We had a boxing match, which was pretty high. Whatever, it was a big thing, and then we had UFC. Obviously, you watched the UFC card. I did not watch all the fights. I didn't even watch the Jones fight just because I got tired, drank too many beers. But I did watch the Tyson card, especially the female fight that was before the Tyson fight. I know that you said her name is Serrano.
Yeah, the fight was Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. And it was at 146, I believe. And it was Serrano coming up a couple of weight classes because she's a 7 division world champ total, like throughout her career. Because boxing is
Yeah,
about every like 5 pounds with the lower weight classes is a
yeah,
division. And this was the second time they fought, and Katie Taylor won the first one. And she also won this one. But I believe that Amanda Serrano was robbed. And I don't even think it's controversial to say that because Serrano landed 107 more punches. And Katie Taylor was also deducted a point for headbutting, which is very significant because boxing and UFC, they're scored on a 10-9 round basis every round, unless there's a knockdown or something, or just an atrocious ass beating. You might get a 10-8. So her losing a point in a round and the significant difference in strikes, I'm shocked that she won. She won 95-94 on all 3 scorecards, which I think is atrocious.
yeah. I was a little surprised. Truthfully, so obviously the headbutt was significant, right? Was it intentional? I don't think so, but it definitely caused some damage because it got that cut right over her right eye, and it opened up like a lot when she first had that headbutt. But after the headbutt actually happened, I do think that um, what's her name, Taylor. I think Serrano was a little hesitant to like lean in on that side, and I think Taylor ended up doing a little better. But with that said, that the ref took a point off like 2 rounds after the headbutt actually occurred for her leading in with their head more. Um, so
Yeah.
like I think Serrano should have probably won after that because she was killing her at first. She wobbled her in like the second round, I think, and then I think Taylor won the last 5, Serrano won the first 5, and then with the point taking off, Serrano should have won. But I guess I don't know what the judges really saw. Um, but yeah, that
They
was crazy.
saw
They
they
were
saw
really,
their fucking they saw their fucking pay go up if they get Katie Taylor to win. Those judges fucking hated Americans. That's what happened. I don't give a fuck.
well, neither of them were American.
What are you talking about? Serrano's Puerto Rican.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like she's not like a white American.
Yes, but she's an American American.
Yeah, yeah.
The judges hate Americans. I don't care. I'll say it.
Where was the fight at?
America.
Why would the judges hate Americans?
All 3 judges were American. I don't know.
Random.
I am surprised that they let the fight continue with that eye, though. I mean, that really was bad. It got really bad.
It was really bad. And it was kind of gross. He was just like shoving Vaseline in it.
They kept fucking zooming in on it. I was
I
like,
was like, dude, I don't want to see this. They were standing there going toe to toe though.
that was a great fight. I mean, props to
Like,
them both. I do think I don't think Katie Taylor is intentionally headbutting, but the
no,
way
I agree. Yeah.
but with the way she boxes, she leads with her head. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, she like comes in with her hands up and her face
Hmm.
down, and she just kind of like rubs you, and like that's gonna, yeah. And it might be a tactic, to be honest with you. Um, and it worked. I mean, she won, you know?
Did you listen to the post fight?
No. Oh,
Serrano's trainer was going at the ref and at Katie Taylor.
yeah.
Not
He,
like, yeah, he was saying that Katie's like a great person
yeah,
and all this, but she has a big ass head and she causes grotesque injuries every time she fights somebody.
yeah. I did hear that. That was pretty funny. And I mean, I'd be upset if I was Serrano too, because like I think she was winning until she got this gay gash over her eye from a headbutt. Um, but it's
I
just
think
one of those
Serrano
things.
won the last round, in my opinion.
They were just standing there freaking duking it out so much that I couldn't even tell who was winning at a certain point because it was just like Taylor hits her with a 3-piece, then Serrano comes back with a combo. It was just like
I
it
mean, they're
was
both fucking warriors. That was by
straight
far the best fight on the card.
rock'em sock'em robots, and they're just standing there, just going at it. Um, and then the Tyson fight happened. Everybody in America, I think, was rooting for Tyson. Didn't want to see Tyson like look like he did.
No,
It was kind
I
of
do
sad.
think I've heard people say that it was rigged and that Tyson got paid more money the longer the fight went on. And I don't know if any of that's true, but I don't think it was rigged. I don't think Tyson should have been in there fighting. You know, the clips they show you are 8 seconds long in the warm-ups. You
Yeah,
know, it's an 8 round fight. I mean, it's completely different. And he looked okay in the first round.
yeah.
I think he won the first round. But
When he's stationary,
yeah,
when he's
he's got no
stationary,
leg.
he's got no legs. He was wobbling. He looked so old in there, and it was honestly hard to sit there and watch.
And
Um,
I honestly I don't like Jake Paul, but I gained a little respect for him because I do think he held back.
he absolutely held back. He could have knocked Tyson out pretty much whenever he wanted to, I think. I do think he was a little scared to get close to him.
I mean, Tyson still got knockout power.
Yeah, yeah. I do think he was a little scared to get close to him, which I mean, I don't blame him. But I think if he could have just kept jabbing, jabbing, and 1-2 and 1-2, and then eventually it takes a toll, and Tyson was tired as shit to begin with. But I would say I think that props to Jake Paul for kind of coasting and kind of showing his respect towards the end. And uh, I did like that because I mean, what do you gain from knocking out a damn near senior citizen?
Yeah, I mean they're both getting paid a boatload of money. Nobody needs to get hurt.
He would have his like it would have went down his fan whatever, I can't even think the word for it, but like the way people look at him, for it would have been worse than a loss if he would have
I mean,
knocked Tyson out right
yeah,
there.
I mean motherfuckers already hate him.
Right.
I think he gained respect for treating Tyson with respect.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, I still don't. I mean, he can hit hard.
Hmm.
I mean, he's proven that, and he's you know compared to an average person, he's a great boxer. But
Yeah.
I want to see him fight somebody his age, and I want to see him really. I mean, if he really wants to be a boxer, he should start fighting people that are boxers currently.
Yeah, but like the thing is he's 225, juiced out of his mind,
Oh,
right?
he would have to fight at like 185. He'll get fucking killed by real heavyweights.
Right. He doesn't, so he hits hard, but he doesn't hit hard compared to heavyweight boxers. You know what I mean? So
Like
he'd have
imagine
to,
him in there with Deontay Wilder.
yeah, like let's be real.
Yeah.
Um, like he hits hard like for an average dude, but he doesn't hit hard compared to like legit heavyweight boxers. I think he'd have to go down to like 185, and he'd probably lose because those dudes are going to be so fast,
Yeah.
and they're going to out like box him. Um, I don't know. I don't think he's doing this to be, the best boxer of all time. He's doing it to make a shitload of money, and it seems to be working. So I mean, why?
Oh, he's already fucking. I heard Tyson got paid 20 million.
Tyson got paid 20. Jake's purse was 50.
Jay got paid 50.
That's what I read somewhere.
I'll tell you what, I'll go in there and not knock Mike Tyson out for 50.
Yeah, right. Um, this is a question I was gonna talk about. Do you think you could have went in there against that Mike Tyson and done the same thing?
No,
You say no?
no. I wouldn't. I mean, Jake Paul got hit legitimately once. I saw.
It was in
Like,
his neck,
no, not even that one.
not that one.
Well, first of all, that right there, getting punched in the neck, immediately done. My neck's broken. I mean,
I I think I could have went in there.
I could run around for
I was
for
about to
eight
say
rounds. I
I
could have
could have
done that.
danced around for 15 minutes, and he just stands in the middle of the ring trying to walk down to me, and then he probably would have eventually tripped over his own feet trying to chase me.
Yeah, I mean, do I think that my legs would hold up better than his legs? Yeah. I'm bigger than him too, by
Yeah.
25 pounds.
I don't think in the right ways though.
No, not in a healthy withstand punches kind of way, but I mean, I am bigger than him.
You do way more than him, yes.
Yeah. No, I don't. I wouldn't have. I'm not going to sit here and say I could have lasted. No, I think that's crazy.
I just don't think he could have moved. Like I think I legitimately could have danced around in there for 10 minutes or what 10 rounds, 8 rounds, whatever it was, and he just wouldn't have been able to move out of the center of the rink fast enough. Ring.
If he hit me, I don't have any kind of jaw. Like,
I agree. If he hit me, I would be fucked too, but I don't think he would have hit me.
yeah, but your boxing experience is running away from people like me and Mike.
Yeah, but you guys could move better than that fucking senior citizen could move.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you put me and you in the racquetball room at the CB Rec right now, you couldn't touch me if you wanted to.
I'm hitting you, dude.
Not one time.
You're psychotic.
I'm just being real with you.
Fight me in a phone booth.
A phone booth is a little smaller. I still think you'd get tired first.
On that note, why don't we head to a quick commercial break so I can think about beating the fuck out of you in a phone booth. Welcome back to Sammy and Marissa's husbands. That short 2-second pause was brought to you by Trey Chewing Pizza.
It's pretty good. Red Baron.
Give us the live review.
Live review. I mean, honestly, it's dog shit compared to good pizza, obviously. I mean, I'd give it like a 5-7.
That's on the regular pizza scale. What's it rated on the frozen pizza scale?
Oh, frozen pizza scale? So I could have cooked it a little longer if I wasn't doing this, which I did think probably affect the score a little bit. The sauce tastes pretty good. It's almost like, I don't know, it's got like a good tang. Not too much tang, but a good tang for sauce. The cheese kind of sucks. Pepperoni is pepperoni. Crust sucks. I'd say frozen pizza score, right? 6-9.
Okay, nice. Good score.
Thank you.
I like it.
All right. So moving on from boxing, unless you have anything to add.
No, I'm good.
UFC. So Jones versus Stipe was the main fight. That's all I really watched. I saw some highlights of some other stuff like the Michael Chandler fight, but didn't really get too much into it. You got anything on those?
The first 3 fights were okay. I mean, nothing crazy. The Michael Chandler fight, he got the fucking shit kicked out of him for 4 rounds. And then that dude is a fucking dog. Came out there 5th round, was whipping on Oliveira. Oliveira got him he got his back. Chandler stood up in the middle of the ring, or stood up off the cage, walked him. Oliveira still on his back to the middle of the ring and jumped in the air and like slammed him on the ground. And then he got up and did it again. He ended up losing, but it was just impressive to see.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I did see that on Instagram or something like that, and that is a little nuts. Michael Chandler's kind of a different breed.
I wouldn't fuck with that guy.
But the Jones and Stipe fight, I kind of figured it was going to go the way that it did. I mean, Stipe is legitimately a full-time firefighter right now. So like, let's be real, John Jones is the baddest man on the planet. Like, come on, you know.
Other than the 2 of us.
Well, yeah, of course. We're sitting here talking about how we don't think we could beat up a 58-year-old Mike Tyson.
Well, I mean, out of respect.
Out of respect, obviously. But Jones looked absolutely gigantic.
Yeah, he's fucking big, dude.
It's a big boy.
And when the fight started, Stipe's stand-up looked pretty good. Like, it didn't seem like Jones wanted to trade with him too much at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jones took him down so easily.
Yeah.
Stipe's not a wrestler, though, but
I was about to say that's what Jones does.
And then that spinning back kick to the ribs.
That very well could have broke a rib.
That would have split my body in half.
I heard that on like a video, ringside video, and it literally sounded like a shotgun went off.
I would much rather get kicked in the head.
Would you rather be shot in the quad with a gun, not lethal, just right in the meat, or let John Jones do a spinning back kick to your rib cage?
I still think I'll take the kick.
Dude, I don't know. I think I'd rather be shot.
What if it goes through my like femur or whatever the bone is?
No. Right in the meat. It's tactfully placed, so it's just straight through the meat, no bone.
Am I out? Like, how long am I out from the shot?
From the shot, like how? What's the injury duration?
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
am I gonna have a hole in my leg the rest of my life?
No. No. you'll probably be, out for about 2 weeks, and then you get stitched up, bullet comes out, and you're good to go.
I don't know. Both of them sound like they suck.
I think I'd rather be shot, dude. That shit to the ribs. I mean, he definitely, if you just let him kick you right there, he definitely breaks a rib.
I think he broke Stipe's ribs and he wasn't even letting him kick him.
No, 100%. I don't
Yeah.
think there's any way that his rib didn't, or his spleen ruptured or something.
Yeah.
Something's fucked up in there. I know it's not right.
I just seeing how much money Jake Paul and them got paid. I know Stipe didn't make that much.
No, not even
He
close.
he might have made 2 million, and I doubt he made that much. The
Yeah,
UFC guys just don't get taken care of as well
they don't.
as boxers do.
But yeah, I mean, UFC fights are great. It's just the pay-per-view is just too expensive, especially for me sitting here watching it by myself. Like it'd be different if we all went over to Drew's house. And I know Drew kind of has his own setup, so he doesn't have to buy the pay-per-view. But like it'd be different if 10 of us came and watched it together and all split the pay-per-view. Then that'd be like doable. But dude, like it's like what, 70, $80?
Yeah, and they keep going up. Like it used to be 50, which was like kind of manageable.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, they just keep getting more expensive, man.
I mean, truthfully, if it was $40, that's half of what it is now. Um, More people would buy it. I probably would have bought it last night if it was $40. And then in turn, wouldn't they make more money because of that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on your thought process with that. You cut the price $20, but 30 million more people buy it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just depends, I guess the UFC is not hurting, so they're doing whatever they're doing, they're figuring it out. But all right, so let's move on to a little football. UNC 6-4. We beat Wake Forest yesterday, 31-24. We were up 31-17 with like 2 minutes left, but we let them drive down the field, which ruined my parlay. So sick. Omarion Hampton had 244 yards with 1 touchdown. So don't fucking play with me when I tell you he's the best running back in college football.
Well, I have a guy who could probably compete with him whenever we get to Syracuse.
All right. What's the date right now? The 17th?
Yeah.
My bad. I'm just inputting this.
Shout out Kevin. Happy birthday, Kevin.
Oh, happy birthday, Kevin. But yeah, 244 yards and a touchdown. He had 107 yards in the first quarter. But we got Boston College next week, NC State following. So we have a real shot to finish 8-4, 6-4 right now, which I'd be happy with. So I know we talked about it last time, probably playing the Duke Mayo Bowl, but it's a bowl. All right,
It's a bowl of mayo.
It's a bowl of mayo. What's Syracuse looking like?
We are now 7-3. Beat Cal 33-25. Kyle McCord 323 yards, 1 touchdown. My boy LaKent Allen, the most prolific receiving running back in Syracuse history, had 109 yards on 23 carries for 2 touchdowns.
Pretty good game.
Yeah.
If either of our teams were anything other than dog shit, then maybe these 2 running backs could be in the Heisman race.
Syracuse 7-3, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you're going to finish 8-4, just like we're going to finish 8-4, because you're going to lose to Miami in your last game of the season. So, and honestly, you got 7-2 UConn next week.
Yeah, I mean, we could fucking lose next week.
Yeah, UConn I don't think is a slaps this year, but yeah. So some notable stuff in terms of college football. I think the Heisman race is kind of coming to a close. Obviously, we got 2 more regular season games, and then I believe it's conference championships right after that. And then that's when before the bowl games and playoffs is when the Heisman and all the awards get announced. So really 3 more weeks. I do think so. So Travis Hunter had a touchdown and interception this weekend, and I do think that pretty much solidified him to win the Heisman. But Gene T had 159 yards and 3 touchdowns, so it's not like he had a bad game either. But Colorado is kind of in that conversation for potentially making the playoff. So I think he's going to ultimately get it.
Fuck him. I want Ginty.
Yeah, I want Gene T too, but I don't think he's going to get it, man. Right now, I think he has the 3rd best odds because I think Dylan Gabriel's still ahead of him. And actually, Travis Hunter's odds it was like minus 150 or something for him to win. So when it starts getting into the minus for your odds to win the Heisman, it's like, yeah, they know something we don't.
Yeah, it's crazy how like they just always know with the Heisman race.
Right.
Like there's never really once you get to this stage of the season, there's really not going to be a surprise.
They kind of know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So NFL, Panthers 3-7. We had a bye this week. I'm glad I had to chew my pizza, but so we're 3-7, had a bye this week, and like the craziest part about this is we're the worst team in the NFL, and we could potentially we could still win the division. The Falcons are the favorite to win at 6-4, but then the Bucks are 4-6, the Saints are 3-7, so it's just such a bad division. I obviously hope we don't win any more games. I want to have a good draft pick. I just really hope we don't just draft a quarterback just to draft a quarterback. Like we really need some O linemen. We need linebackers. We need talent around. Like we need a foundation of talent before we start getting our franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But so Panthers dog shit, Jets dog shit. They're 3-7. You got anything to add about them?
We are currently up 17-16 on the Colts with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, great for you guys to start winning now.
Yeah, it's nice when we can finally put it all together when there's nothing, when it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, you'll probably win out, and it'll be for nothing.
We'll probably finish 10-7 and miss the wild card.
That would be so annoying. But I can see it happening. Chiefs and Bills play at 4:30, and I think that's going to be a pretty good game. The Bills are favored by 2, and it's kind of like betting against Tom Brady when you're betting against Mahomes. You know what I mean? Don't think I could get myself to put money on it, but I do like the Bills. They're playing at home. Josh Allen definitely has a chip on his shoulder about these games, and I don't think Mahomes has that same chip on his shoulder about these games because he doesn't lose them. So
yeah, Mahomes is a bitch.
He's a bitch that can sling that thing though.
Pause.
All right. So, how's your fantasy team looking?
I am right now, as we are speaking, 89% chance to win in my dynasty league and a 43% chance to win in my redraft league. I'm playing Drew in the redraft league. I'm up by 40 right now, but he has a lot of people left to play.
That is what's up, my friend. Always nice to give Drew a little ass beating, that fat son bitch.
That fucking pig.
I'm 8-2 in my money league, and I have an 89% chance to win right now. and I'm 5-5 in my work league with a 79% chance to win. So outlook is looking all right. Hopefully it continues. I still haven't had that many people to play. Of course, I have Jameson Williams on my bench, and he's got 20 points in the third quarter, and that's in my half PPR league. So that's super sick.
What a cool league that is.
Yeah, super, super cool. Definitely thinking about playing again next year. But moving into basketball, so college basketball obviously getting underway, picking up a little bit. Teams are starting to get their feet under them. UNC's 2-1. They played Friday night against American. They won 107-55. It was a close-ish game in the first half, but truly, I mean, American just doesn't have the talent to keep up with those big schools for a full game. We are great in transition. Like, we're probably one of the best teams in the country in transition. We get a turnover, we're probably getting a layup or a dunk. But our half-court offense still working out some kinks. And our half-court offense is basically revolving around RJ Davis making threes. And when he doesn't shoot well, which he didn't really shoot well Friday, our half-court offense sucks. I'd like to see us throw the ball into Jalen Washington just a little bit more. Right now, we're kind of using him like he's Armando Bacot, and he's like 100% not Armando Bacot. So we need to use him the way that he should be used.
Shout out Mondo.
Shout out Mondo. Our next game is Friday at 12:30 a.m. against Hawaii, obviously in Hawaii. But how annoying is that?
That is so whack.
Literally like after midnight. And then Monday, we start the Maui Invitational, which our game is at like 11:30 p.m.
Yeah, that's
I hate that shit
frustrating.
because I'm not staying up till 12:30 to watch.
That's too late.
Yeah.
You'll be up till fucking 3 o'clock.
Right, exactly. But I mean, Syracuse starting 3-0. What are you thinking about them?
Started 3-0. We haven't played anybody good. We just played Youngstown State. We beat them 104-95 in double overtime. Good thing about that game is Donnie Freeman, freshman, kind of his first like really good game. He had 19 and 12. Our center Eddie Lampkin, 20 and 13. JJ Starling, who is our best player, has pretty pedestrian first two games, scored 38 points. So he went off. Thing I noticed, we don't really like we've been relying too much on the three-pointer first two games, and we really started attacking the rim. But we're not going to be able to guard any of these ACC teams. If Youngstown State's putting up 95 on us.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Eddie Lampkin is good. I don't know if you've seen him. But he's pretty solid. Like he's a pretty big guy. He's got no lateral quickness.
Yeah, I think I've seen some like highlight things of him.
Like any like ball screens or things like that, like a quick guard is just going to be able to attack him and go to the rim.
Yeah. You guys play Thursday at 7:30 against Texas, who's 3-1, and that's basically your first like big school of the season. So I think that's going to be a good test to see where you're at.
Yeah, that'll be a good barometer of where we're at. I haven't seen any Texas games, so I'm not sure. I don't know what their first four games look like, but
I don't know, but
I
it's
feel
a big school. So generally, like they might not be the best in the world, but they're going to be a big school with decent talent. So I think it's definitely going to at least tell you generally if you're going to be able to compete or not.
Yeah, I'm nervous because these small schools have been giving us all we can take.
Yeah.
But it could be, I don't think it is, but it could be a little playing down to our competition.
Yeah, very much.
But we'll see.
Very much so. Moving to NBA, Lakers are 9-4. They won their first game of group play against the Spurs, and I won a nice parlay of that of UNC minus a Norse parlay of UNC minus 24.5 and Lakers money line. So that was clutch. Their next in-season tournament game is Tuesday against the Jazz. Big things for me about the Lakers is AD looks really, really good, but he looks like he's hurt every single game.
Dude, he falls so damn much.
He falls so much. And
He
then like he
falls
had the
like
thing
every
going on.
play.
He had the thing going on with his eye. Now he has something going on with his foot, plantar fasciitis or something like that. And I'm like, dude, this dude's falling apart.
I'm suffering from some of that right now.
Plantar fasciitis.
It's not plantar fasciitis because plantar fasciitis is in the heel and the arch of the foot.
Uh-huh.
What I got going on is in the ball of my foot. It's called like metatarsalogia.
Is that self-diagnosed or did you go to a doctor?
Self-diagnosed.
Classic.
I've got all the signs though.
Yeah, of course you do.
And you've seen my feet before. You know I have that hammer toe.
Yeah.
That is, I think, causing the issue. Like, because the tendons like freeze up
Hmm.
in that. That's why it's like stuck like that. And eventually it starts going down into the ball of the foot. And then you basically just have to like roll your foot out, ice it. And
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I might
Um,
get like a little sleeve for my toe that like straightens out your toe. And in theory, it'll like unfreeze the joint.
hopefully it works.
We'll see. I didn't play basketball this week. I didn't play tennis this week because it was really painful after the wedding.
Hmm.
Um, and it hasn't been as bad, but I don't want to start too early and then just fuck it up more.
From cutting that damn rug, dude.
I was dancing like some bitch, and the shoes were not comfortable. You know, dress shoes are never comfortable.
Dress shoes suck, yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, some more NBA. So Bronny, so just to talk about Bronny's situation, obviously we've already talked about him only playing home games. I saw somewhere that it's the team doesn't want to have him flying to away games on commercial flights.
For safety reasons,
I don't think so. I think it's like almost like a little bit of the nepotism thing going on. Like this is Bronny James. He's not flying commercial. Like Bronny's probably never flied commercial in his whole life.
yeah, I doubt it. I mean, why would he?
Right. So
That's
like that's you
strange.
know, but that's what those G League teams do. They fly commercial. And I do think that's one of those things, and I think that's kind of a bad look.
I think it's dumb.
Like he's a G League player. He needs to play in the G League. He needs to go. He needs to fucking he shouldn't get special treatment because truthfully he doesn't deserve it yet. He's a G League player.
Yeah, I mean,
And he's
you
gonna end
gotta,
up people are gonna end up like having a bad taste in their mouth because of it.
yeah, his teammates will, I think.
Right.
Braun's still fucking playing good though.
Yeah, he's playing good. Fourth straight triple double for the first time in his career.
Interesting, right?
I was like, I mean, given I know he's not like the triple double thing isn't like his game. Obviously, he's almost average triple double like I don't know how
Every
many
year,
seasons, yeah. But
21 straight years.
I was shocked to hear that it was the first time that he's had four in a row.
Yeah, I think a lot of these other guys hunt triple doubles,
Yeah,
and he is just that's just his game to naturally hover around 7.
yeah. I don't know, it
You
was
know
just
what?
shocking to me.
You know what's an interesting stat about LeBron? So as for his career, he averaged 27 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and
Mhm.
he's never had a game where he scored 27 and then 7 and 7.
That's funny. That is pretty funny. But how's your fantasy team looking?
I'm beating the fuck out of West right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
League leading score.
Are you? Do I have to fact check you on that right now?
Go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead, pull it up, baby.
shit not working.
Yeah, I scored 273 the other night.
Are you Jacob's ladder?
Jakob's ladder. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know the Jacob's ladder. there's an obstacle on our obstacle course called Jacob's Ladder.
It's got something to do with hell. Jacob's ladder.
Maybe that's yeah, who knows? But yeah, 800, not too shabby. I am 0-3. You know, as we've talked about, I'm kind of letting everybody get their licks in now.
Sure. Yeah.
So I take the league by storm.
What did we say you were going to go 0-6 and then start?
Yeah, I think that's probably the line. That's when I'll start trying. I'm in a close one with Corey, Team Montgomery.
Montgomery.
I'm currently up 770 to 653. So I mean, I'm looking all right. He has everybody playing tonight, and I have 7-1 day to day. So if his team goes crazy and mine sucks, he could still beat me. But I think I have a decent outlook. I hope I don't eat those words. But I'm thinking about making a pickup, but I really don't have a clear person I want to drop right now. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
hate that. Yeah.
So I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just gonna ride it. Because you know my luck, I'll end up making a pickup. They'll play like shit, and then I'll have to drop them, and the guy that I drop won't be available anymore. So I think I'm just gonna rock out with what I got. And you know, if I lose, I lose, because I told you I was going 0-6. So we'll make it happen there.
The I have like 2 spots right now that I pretty much just like my designated pickup spots.
Hmm.
But I made a good pickup like 2 weeks ago, and he's just been playing good. So I'm not, so I'm basically down to 1 pickup spot, and I got both my IR spots ate up. So
I know. I feel like everybody's hurt right now.
fucking Zion and CJ McCollum.
Mm. Yeah, I've got 3 dudes out right now, and obviously only 2 that can stay in my IR spot. So it is what it is. We'll make it happen. But in my other league that I play in, I'm 3-0, and it's one of those category leagues. And I'm up 5-2-1. So winning in 5 categories, losing in 2, and we're tied in 1 going into today's games. And so hopefully I pull that one out, go 4-0. So we'll see.
Whoever has Dyson Daniels in that league is gonna run away with the steals. Did you see that shit I sent you?
Yeah, nuts.
Yeah, he has more steals in the past 4 games than anyone else in the league the whole season.
That's absurd.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
But that's the difference between category leagues and points league is like because you might pick up him even if he was doing nothing else except for getting steals, just because he's going to get you points in the steals category, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a different type of
It's a way
strategy.
different approach, yeah. But yeah, let's move on to random questions.
All right,
So
you know what to do.
I'll go first. All right, so we talked about hockey earlier. Is fighting part of like your scouting report as a hockey player or part of your training as a hockey player?
I don't know if it's part of your training, but I know that there are guys on hockey teams that are legitimately enforcers.
Like
Like,
you can barely skate, he just runs around and just this dude's pissing me off, go fuck him up.
I don't know if it's like that, but you know how like you used to have like your Charles Oakleys
Uh-huh.
and guys like that in the NBA where they'd set a hard screen or they hard foul somebody. And it used to be like some type of fights, but in hockey, I'm pretty sure every team has a couple of guys where somebody takes a cheap shot at your star player, you legitimately go out there and drop your gloves and just handle it. Which I can appreciate that. I like that. I don't want to
It-
see that in the NBA though.
no, they're too much of prima donnas. I do think the game would change a little bit if fights got involved.
You know, God forbid somebody touch my king.
Yeah, no, oh, not the king. We have to wait till he retires.
Uh,
All right.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering. I was just thinking about like I saw a fight on TV and I was just like, I wonder if like, you know, you come to training camp and it's like, all right, boys, We're practicing
No, I
our
don't think.
combos right today.
No, I don't think they do that. I mean, obviously, I don't know, but I doubt it's like that.
You never know.
All right, I got a start bench cut for you.
All right.
Former Carolina guys: Tyler Zeller,
Mhm.
Kennedy Meeks, and James Michael McAdoo.
Oh God. I'm definitely cutting McAdoo. And I never liked him. Didn't like him in the NBA. Probably didn't. I don't think he even deserved to be in the NBA. Sucked in college. Um, I liked Meeks. I think a little undersized, but he could shoot a little bit. Zeller was kind of a weirdo. Um, but he had a good career. I think I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna start Meeks, bench Zeller, and cut McAdoo. I liked Kennedy
Oh,
Meeks, also a uh, North Carolina guy. He's a Charlotte guy. I think Zeller's
yep.
from like Indiana or some shit.
I probably would have cut Zeller
Yeah,
and
like
bench
I don't like
McAdoo.
McAdoo as a guy. Like I just don't.
I probably would have benched McAdoo, cut Zeller, and started Meeks too.
Um, Truthfully, I don't think McAdoo was even like he just wasn't that good. He couldn't really do anything that good.
Yeah, he was kind of like Swiss Army. He gives me like Evan Turner kind of vibes.
A little bit, but way worse.
Poor man's
A poor
poor,
man's
poor,
Evan
poor
Turner.
man's. Yeah.
Yeah, but like Evan Turner wasn't even that great. So it's like, I mean, he had a good career,
Yeah.
but yeah, I never liked his game. Every time he played, I just got frustrated watching him because he was like a 5 star. He was supposed to be really, really good, and he just wasn't.
Fair enough.
But okay, next question. All right, so scenario for you. All right, Marissa's out of town for the weekend. What are you doing that you don't get to do while she's home? For instance, cooking, watching, etc.
Interesting. What am I doing that I'm not doing? Oh, I'm definitely watching TV in bed.
Okay,
Like
nice. I like
when
that.
I go to lay down,
Hmm.
because we don't really watch TV in the room.
Makes sense.
But I'll throw some shit on. Just some of my YouTube shit, just watch some bullshit when I'm going to bed. Um, I might watch a stand up because she doesn't really like to watch stand up.
Okay, nice.
As far as food, not much will change for me. I She doesn't really like getting subs as much as I do. Like I fucking love a sub, so I might go get a sub.
Huh,
Run up on the Jimmy Jones.
that's nice. That's nice. I
Definitely
don't,
have sports on the TV.
definitely sports on TV. That's what I was gonna say. So Sam's out of town. This is why I was thinking this question is I watched a lot of sports. Um, didn't watch any like shows or anything different. I think I probably could have thrown on a stand up like last night. And I would have liked that or something like that. But I don't really watch TV as much. Um, One thing I always do is I collect my beer cans for the weekend, and I make like a big mountain of beer cans on the counter because she would lose her mind if I did that while she was home. But they're all thrown away now because I gotta leave soon to go get her. Um, but yeah, and then I'm definitely grilling some meat. Definitely grilling meat.
Throwing some meat on the grill, huh?
Throwing some meat on the grill. I brought the other TV we had also into the living room so I could have multiple sports on the TV. And had that just set up all weekend. Sick.
I just want to. I'm just looking at my fantasy team. I fucking hate Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
I didn't start him. He's got 28 points.
Yeah, I almost picked him up this week because I needed a tight end, but of course.
Mm,
Of course.
I'm gonna lose
Um,
because of that.
all right. Next question for you.
Okay. Pull up the old list. Okay. This is a good one. Events that you remember us watching at Mill Creek,
Events.
like sporting
Um,
events or like something that you
I
remember happening at Mill Creek.
I remember a ridiculous amount of Smash Brothers being played. Ridiculous amount. Um, but events that happened at Mill Creek, sporting events or like significant things that we watched. Um, I mean, nothing's really standing out of like specifically that we watched. I'm sure we watched a good couple UFC fights, but then again, maybe not there because we were poor. I don't know. Nothing's really coming to mind.
Something that sticks out to me is the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight we watched there.
Really? Okay.
Um, the it was a playoff series, Bulls versus Heat, and LeBron hit a three-pointer in the corner
Yeah, I remember
to
that.
prevent us from going up 2-0.
Hmm.
And that was at Mill Creek. And there was another one that I had specifically in mind for this, but of course, the second I read it, it like popped out of my brain. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think I ever like went over there too much to watch things just because there was always so many people over there all the time and there was only so many spots to sit. Um, so like I just felt like it wasn't a good place to just sit and watch things.
Yeah.
Given, I mean,
If anybody has a significant sporting event that we watched over at Mill Creek, because I know I'm forgetting a big one, why don't you just go ahead and pop it down in the comments?
yeah, pop her down in the comments. Let us know. Um, all right, but let's take a quick commercial and let's just jump right into the next one. Red Baron pizza, it's significantly worse when it's cold.
And welcome back to the show. I'm gonna reach out to Red Baron and see if they can reimburse us.
Yeah, like
And by us, I mean me.
there's so much. It's like definitely their fault that I let it sit on the counter for 45 minutes. Definitely their fault.
I agree wholeheartedly. Actually, when we lived at Clear Run, I bought something that I thought was something else, like a Hormel meat product, and they mailed me like coupons.
Really
Yeah, like if you complain about shit, they'll pretty much just mail you shit.
interesting. I'm gonna like next time I get a frozen pizza, I'm gonna take a little small cut in the plastic, pull all the pepperonis, but like two of them out. I'm like, I can't believe you gave me this bullshit. There's only two pepperonis on my pizza, and then get coupons for a free pizza, and then
Yeah,
just put.
that would have been a good idea if we weren't on a recorded platform that we're gonna air.
You think Red Baron's gonna listen to this?
Well, I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna reach out to Red Baron's social media team and say, hey, how do you feel about someone from upper management coming on our podcast? We have a huge reach and a lot of active listeners who leave comments, like the polls. How would you feel about someone coming on and telling us a little bit more about your product?
Yeah, do it. They're gonna not answer your DM.
I'm about to just start like messaging people on LinkedIn. Be like,
Have
hey,
fun, man.
you wanna, we should do a segment once every couple episodes where we interview a random person.
We just pretend we have a job. That's what we should do. We should pretend that we're hiring for a job, and this should be just a Zoom call, and we're in both like suits, and we just interview them about this fake job that we have going on.
Is the job for the podcast?
It's like a producer for a famous podcast. Yeah.
But what happens when they look up the podcast?
Well, no, it could just be anything, man. Maybe it'll be a freaking project manager for a construction company or some shit,
Okay, something to think about.
or a janitor, just something random. We'll make a fake job listing online and just waste 30 minutes of their time, basically.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I do have one more random question that
Okay.
I'll ask you just to kind of clear off my list.
Okay.
And I might have to reach out to Sammy to get clarification on this.
Oh.
But I was wondering if you can name all of Sammy's jobs that she's had.
No, I'm not going to be able to because there's a restaurant that she worked at in high school that it was like I want to say it was like a breakfast spot or something like that, and I have no idea what that place is. Um, but after that, it was Buffalo Wild Wings in Virginia, Buffalo Wild Wings here. Then she worked at Whiskey Creek. She worked at Neptune's. Trying to think if she had anything else before Karasoff's.
I know of one for sure.
I feel like it's, oh, she worked at a vet in Colorado Springs.
Didn't know about that.
She worked as a nanny when we were in Missouri. So she didn't start working at Karasoff until we were in Colorado Springs. So I'm missing one that she had in the ILM.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm thinking of, I think.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, no, no, no. I'm pretty sure she worked at like a tanning salon with Morgan.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that.
I think that was like a very brief. She worked there just so she could get like free tan. Um, and that's no, that's all I got. I can't think of anything else.
This one was also brief, but famous toastery.
Oh, dang it. Yeah, she did work there. That was definitely very brief. Very brief.
I didn't realize she worked at Neptune's.
She worked in Neptune's briefly as well. Her and Morgan both did.
That is another one of our clients. They're actually a pretty good client of ours.
Neptune's, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Good tacos
I've never eaten there. I only remember being in there at
at
night.
at 1:30 at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they got good food. Um, it's a cool little like uh spot to just sit and chill too. Like they have a cool little environment.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
is
Well,
all I have for random questions.
yeah, let's jump into Pat's peeves. So I have two past peeves. First one is that my neighbors are putting up a fence, which is not a bad thing. Cool with them putting up a fence. However, they're putting up a fence that doesn't go all the way to my property line. So I can't use their fence as part of my fence. You know what I'm saying?
You can't hook to it.
Right, because it goes like 10 feet over my property line. So like it's just I don't even know why they wouldn't do that. Why are they cutting off 10 feet of their yard?
Maybe they didn't get a survey.
They definitely did not get a survey because he's just out there doing it. But
Yeah.
I'm like, that really fucks me because I was gonna probably save about $1,000 by you just having that side done.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's
that's interesting.
definitely a Pat's peeve.
If it was a little closer, like if it was like 2 or 3 feet, you could probably just ask him if he cared.
Well, I talked to him a little bit, and it's the neighbor that's next to them. So like my next door neighbor, and he's doing it, and she only wanted to spend a certain amount on wood. And I was like, I would have chipped in, and then it was like, more surface area that they would have had to go and shit like that. So she was just like, I'm just trying to do this the way it is. And I was like, all right, whatever. But kind of sucked.
He sounds
But
like
I
a
was,
fucking bitch.
she's actually really nice, but she just already had it set up in her mind, I think. And so it is what it is. But I do want to get a fence, I think, at some point. Because I'm renting my house out come April. So I was hoping that I'm really just, I was banking on, because all our houses in this cul-de-sac are new builds. So I was banking on both of my neighbors eventually putting in a fence, and then all I'd had to do was like put my gates in and call it a day. But obviously they didn't do that. And I know once I do that, my other neighbor will freaking just do it. But it is what it is. I'll let them live.
My pet peeve. I get home last night
Hmm.
and I've dropped my phone. I don't know how many times. Truthfully, I haven't had too many issues. It got a little scratched up when Nick smashed my head into a window when we were getting drunk in Carolina Beach. But get out of the car, phone falls out of my pocket, 1:30 in the morning, lands smack on the glass and shatters. So I have to get a new phone screen.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks. I hate having to do anything with like getting a new phone or updating a service or anything like that.
And I called and it's not like insane, but $135 is not like I wasn't wanting to spend that.
Heck no. And that's for just the screen or a new phone.
Just a screen.
Dude, honestly, you should just go. What do you got, Verizon?
Yeah, I have an iPhone 11.
Yeah,
I've had my phone for a long time.
you need to go to Verizon and just be like, hey, broke my phone. They're charging me 130 bucks to get a new screen. Like, what can you do for me? And a lot of times, like you can kind of trade that phone in because truthfully, they don't give a shit if the screen is broken. They can still give you some money off of it. And then your monthly payment may go up like $2 or something like that, and you can get another phone.
Yeah,
So,
and my phone bill is really cheap because we do it through Lisa's like employee plan.
uh and I mean, truthfully, like worst case scenario, they just tell you like, hey, it's gonna actually cost you a lot of money, and you're like, okay, never mind, I'm just gonna go pay the 130 bucks.
Yeah,
But I would do that first. I would go and just kind of see what they can do first.
makes sense.
Um, another past peeve that I think we've talked about before, um, is when people stand too close to you in a grocery line. Super weird.
I don't know if we've talked about that, but I in the past have had to ask people to step back.
Yeah. This scenario was the lady wasn't too close to me. Actually, it was like the aisles are narrow, like the little checkout station is narrow. Um, and I go in front of my cart so I can take things out of my cart and put them on the little conveyor belt.
Hmm.
Um, but she's like holding the handle of my cart. You know what I'm saying? Like, isn't that weird?
Yeah, I don't
And I
like
was
that.
just like, yo, back up a little bit. Like, you're gonna breathe.
Was
And
she
like
old?
she was like an older Asian lady.
She's probably just using it to hold herself up.
No, she wasn't that old.
Well, then you should have fucking said, "Excuse me, ma'am."
I thought about just like accidentally tripping and like shoving the cart into her.
Yeah, that would have went over well.
Yeah, like, oh my God, are you okay? And she smacks her head on the ground.
You're a sick bastard.
I wouldn't have actually do that, but the thought did cross my mind.
Good times.
But yeah, that's Pat's peeves. You got any closing comments?
No.
We didn't do the Thanksgiving draft this week because I think it would be best to do that next week, the weekend before Thanksgiving. Um,
Yeah.
so we'll definitely do that next weekend. I know you guys, especially that fat son bitch, was looking forward to hearing about some gravy and stuff.
Yeah, you like that gravy, baby.
Well, if you don't got anything else, I think that's gonna wrap us up.
Let me check the score of the game real quick. Jets up 5 with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, they're gonna start winning when it doesn't matter.
Hell yeah, baby.
All right, dog. Well, until next time.
Peace.